Good morning and welcome to Behind the Screen. I am Jam and we are back. Been off on vacation, COVID sickness, and Gen Con, but I cannot begin to describe how excited I am to be back. And today we're doing a Gen Con recap. Was it the 4 best days in gaming? And that's debatable. We'll kind of talk through it, show off all of the fun things I got to do, and then kind of talk about where we're headed in the future. Because this is episode 199. I can't believe I've been doing 199 episodes of these. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do episode 200. And we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But hello to Mark and John Doom. Always good to see you. Hello to the obvious Twitch bot. Hopefully Tink will take care of that. So, Gen Con advertises itself as the best 4 days in gaming. It is certainly the largest. It is certainly the most expansive. And there's a lot of good things about Gen Con. The number one thing being the dealer hall. The fact that you have 300 rows, each with, I think, 100 individual booth spaces that can be, some people buy more than one booth space, is insane. It's wonderful. You could do nothing at Gen Con but spend all 4 days in the dealer hall and most likely not see everything. If you want to get to have face-to-face time with your favorite designers and people in the industry, this is the place to go. But it is 100,000 people, and let me tell you, that dealer hall and the hallways get packed. It's sprawling. It's the Indiana Convention Center and Lucas Oil Stadium and 6 or 7 different hotels all connected by sky bridges. You're gonna do a lot of walking. And I will be honest, the atmosphere in the Gamer Hall was got progressively worse as the weekend went on. So these are just all things you should know. But if you want to game nearly 24 hours a day, pausing only to sleep, shower, and eat, possibly shower, sleep, and eat in that order, this is a wonderful place to go. Do I think it's the best 4 days in gaming? No. I actually think, for my money, Gamehole Con is the best con that I've ever been to, and I'm looking forward to going to it again. It's large enough that you get people like Chaosium and Free League and Trollord Games there, and yet it's only 5,000 people. It's a 20th the size of Gen Con. But I had an amazing time. And I thought I'd take some time to just kind of show off some of the things and people I got to meet. So this is transition. We'll see if we can get this to work. There we go. This is myself and Chris Landauer, who, if you are a fan of Pinnacle, you will definitely recognize that handsome man. And Kevin of Palladium Games with a life-size statue of Leonardo taken from the cover of the original TMNT role-playing game. Now, these pictures are not in any order. In fact, they're wildly out of order. But it was awesome to get to hang out with the Palladium crew. It was awesome to get to hang out with Chris. And, I mean, I got a picture taken with Leonardo, who is my favorite of all of the turtles. This is me at our booth. We actually had a small booth, Strange Owl Games did. We are bringing back the world's largest dungeon. And we had t-shirts, thanks to Tink, and we had buttons, and we had miniatures that we're going to be releasing with the Kickstarter. You can see the Gibbering Mouther minis there. It's a draconic Gibbering Mouther and then a fiendish Chimera. And those were expertly painted by my buddy Luke. We were giving away minis. We're actually hoping to be at ReaperCon in Texas in a couple of weeks to be doing the same thing. But that's going to be coming to crowdfunding later this year. And that's kind of why I went. I went to network and kind of talk with people about joining the world's largest dungeon product and to hype it and to get people excited about being there and joining with us on this crowdfunding campaign. I will talk a lot about this in the near future. This is the Shadows of Estrin booth. If you like horror, I've done a review of Shadows of Estrin. I'm running Shadows of Estrin. Studio Agate puts out the best quality role-playing games with art and design. It's translated from French, so sometimes the rules are a little obtuse, but they have a great community that helps you get through that. And their booth is always worth stopping at. My new hidden gem that I had not heard of was this dice company that's coming up. It is a dice company that produces these gorgeous wooden dice boxes. They've got little spell books that open up that store mini dice. And we spent more time than we should looking at all of the different options that they had. Between them and Norse Foundry, here are the little mini dice books. I'll get those transitioned on. They were Eldritch dice, I think is what they're called. You can go on their website. You can order all of this. They were beautiful. They actually have a set that was designed by Loot Gygax that looks like the cover of the old D&D little brown book. So when you open them up, they look like the really brightly colored polyhedrals that used to come with the D&D set. You don't have to cram them in, Mark, but they look like you could. I say Mark because I know Mark and I have talked about the coloring your dice in. Of course, I had to stop at the Conquest booth. And they were showing off not only their new minis, but their studio paints, which are just gorgeous. No debate from me, Mark. Your dice boxes are the best. All right, this next picture is the second I sat down in this chair. If you follow Pinnacle, you know that Jody and Clint Black have Carolina Game Tables where they make gorgeous gaming tables. Clint had prototypes of his chairs that are now going on. Now, these chairs are expensive. You can go on BackerKit. I think they're discounted on BackerKit right now. They're $6,000 a GM chair. And let me tell you, they are stupidly comfortable. They are probably the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in. And he has them textured with dragon hide. It's true, I am 7'3". People often mistake me for the Statue of Liberty. They just kind of huddle around me because I'm so tall. The one thing that was missing from this Gen Con was John Doom. Just going to toss that out there. I looked high and low for John Doom everywhere. He was nowhere to be found. So yes, they had it in black dragon and red dragon skin, highly embossed with different textures, because the idea is that certain pieces of the chair came from different parts of the dragon. This next picture is probably, it's hard to say. He's one of my top 5 people in gaming that I always love talking with him. I always love interacting with him. I'm going to have him back on Beyond the Table here soon. I got to hang out with Steven Chenault of Trollword Games for just a little bit. And Steven is a wonderful guy. I want to have him on to talk about de-OGLing Castles and Crusades and what that actually meant. Something else I brought back from Gen Con is a little bit of the con crud. I've got some sort of upper respiratory thing going on, so I apologize for the coughing. This is me looking at art prints at the Palladium booth. I spent a lot of time at several booths. The Studio 2 booth, where we were showing off World's Largest Dungeon. The Palladium booth, because I bought a lot of Palladium books. But I also spent time with some friends at the Pelgrane Press booth. This here is Gareth Ryder Hanrahan. holding the pallid mask, the mask of the Yellow King himself. I think we've got a close-up of this. Gareth Ryder Hanrahan is the author of such great adventures like Eyes of the Stone Thief. He just released his new Moria campaign for both 5th edition and the One Ring, which I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this Moria campaign. And he's also an accomplished author. He wrote 2 series in The Sword Defiant, and then wrote the trilogy of the Black Iron Gods, both of which, if you need something to read, I highly recommend. Speaking of John Doom, somebody recommended to me Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I feel like you and I have talked about that. Let me know if that is. Here's another picture of me at the Pelgrane Press booth with another person in my top 5 people in gaming that I love. That is Rob Hainso of 13th Age. And I'm glad you're here. James, we got to hang out very briefly. Unfortunately, I had some health issues, and James seemed to have rolled a double ones and critically failed. He had the worst luck at Gen Con, but I hope, James, that you had a wonderful Gen Con. I'm sorry that we missed dinner. We're definitely going to do dinner at Gamehole Con. Yes, Rob is one of the greatest people in gaming. Now, I had the opportunity to run not one, but 2 sessions of Starbreaker, which was formerly known as Saints and Sinners, at Gen Con. And this, Knights of the Smith Dinner Table had this amazing booth set up, and they have this wonderful VTT interactive tabletop that I am definitely need James to send me all the specs for, because I want to build that into my studio table. But this is my group. Out of the 2 groups, I can objectively say this was the best group. I had about 3 people who had never played Savage Worlds, and I had 3 people who were very familiar with Savage Worlds, and 2 people who were kind of in the middle. And this was the best con experience that I have ever had, hands down, with this group. This was the kind of group that made sure everyone was quiet when someone was talking, and then went, that's a great idea. Who can support this action? And so throughout the whole adventure of Mission Alpha, this whole group was just wildly supporting each other, drum rolls on the table when people were making dice, cheering their successes, booing their critical failures, not the person, but the dice. It was the best experience that I ever have. So to all of you in here, if you see this video, thank you so much. I got to sit on a panel that I sit on essentially every time I'm at Gen Con, which was the 13th Age Monster Design panel. And that is me and Rob and the estimable Wade Rocket. Yes, Tink. We were the Savage Worlds group, John Doom, from all of Gamehole Con, where poor Brian Reeves and Brian and another, I think it was Mike, were running 1-hour demos of Deadlands Dark Ages, and my table was definitely loud enough that multiple demos had to maybe repeat something. But you know what, the group, I mean, it's what Savage Worlds is great for. Those dice explode and everyone gets excited. John, you would have loved that group. They were amazing. All right, this next picture is just a picture of me and a good friend, Chris Landauer of Pinnacle. He and I are both working on Palladium. He's helping me with World's Largest Dungeon. Getting to hang out with Chris was one of the highlights of Gen Con. Not just Chris, though. I got to meet another good friend over at the Chaosium booth. He actually stopped while they were setting up to hang out with me. And that's Rick Meintz of Chaosium. He did give me some crap for wearing a Palladium t-shirt. But Rick, if you're watching this, I don't have any Chaosium t-shirts. Palladium sent me this wonderful box. I would be glad to wear your swag. we just need to talk. And then last but not least, last but not least of the photos, this is Sean Roberson showing myself and Simon and Chris the interior samples of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles RPG Redux. And I have to say, they're doing two versions. They're doing a full color version, and they're doing a black, white, and red version. And I am pre-ordered the black, white, and red version because it is spectacular. So, unfortunately, this happened Saturday, but on Sunday, Tink had the brilliant idea of asking some people, hey, what are you most excited about for the next year in gaming? And the only reason I say that it's unfortunate that it came on Sunday is we were all exhausted on Sunday. But I figured I would end this stream by showing the people I got to interview their excitement of things that are coming out in the next year. One of the things I'm excited about is next week we're going to take a break. I'm going to review a 5e product, which I did not think would happen here on the show. But before that, we're going to take the 200th episode. We're going to go back and kind of revisit some of the things we talked about in the 100th episode, which was beauty. We're going to talk about how RPGs foster beauty in our lives. And then probably do a roadmap of where I kind of hope the next 100 episodes are going to go. But let me leave you with this. And I'm going to sign off now so we can watch this video together and then go about our day. So, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I am JM. This has been Behind the Screen, and I will see you all later. We'll see if that works. Oh, come on, video. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my video seems not to be working. So we will just, you can go and check this out at the iconic Instagram. They're all available as Reels. Apologies for that. And I will see you guys all on Tuesday for more Behind the Screen. John Doom, always glad to see you guys. James, that is, I know you guys had an exhausting one. It was so great to see you, though. Tink was there as a first-time Gen Con goer and just helping out with World's Largest Dungeon and helping me out because I'm still recovering from everything. So it was great to be able to hang out with Tink and everyone. So that is all. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I will see you all on Tuesday. Have a good one.